Topuria has recently come into boxing and he proclaimed himself as the best boxer in the UFC, and he proved it with his masterclass against Josh Emmett, as well as everyone else that he's fought.
As you try to circle. Slight step to the left. As Emmett tries to go right, slight step to the left. And touches him. That jab is nasty. Emmett, you allowed Topuria to get away with the leg kick.
But it's brilliant because there's no other person that can fight just like him in the UFC. And why he does it is because he's not arm punching. That's the biggest mistake. And it's obvious to me because using your core to punch, where your head is stable, and that's the key to his combination punching, but also power punching as well. But now it's ability to move around nice and smoothly and have directional fluidity and having all the directions and all the adjustments that you need to make at that split-second interval. Because say when you're fighting, you have to be ready for anything to happen at any moment. Topuria has recently come into boxing and he proclaimed himself as the best boxer in the UFC, and he proved it with his masterclass against Josh Emmett, as well as everyone else that he's fought. And his style is very basic as a boxer, but it's brilliant because there's no other person that can fight just like him in the UFC. And why he does it is because he's not arm punching. That's the biggest mistake. And boxers, they punch so cleanly. They only have two hands, two weapons to use, that they have to really fine tune it. And with Topuria, there's no fat in his movement. And what that means is there's no delay. So when he punches, it goes straight out, okay? So there's no delay where his hands kind of load up. And you'll see that with Max Holloway. When Max Holloway punches, it's a little bit sloppy, right? His arms, not necessarily like wet noodles, but it's sort of like a wet noodle. And compared to Topuria, the technique is just more cleaner. And because he's using his entire core to punch, he's using that to stabilize his spine, his head, and his arms and legs just moving around it. So we're going to show you how to do it now. Welcome to Top Boxing, and this is the two ways, the two steps to get there. First is going to be the mechanics of using your core to punch, all right? So being able to use your core to control your hands and your legs to punch, as well as the movement. And this will give you the directional movement that you can practice at home. Ideally, if you have a bag to train on, that's good, but we're going to show you ways without it as well. So the first phase, and the most common mistake when you're trying to punch like an elite boxer or Topuria, is using your arms too much. It all has to come from your core. This is why the lighter weight boxers punch so quick and why the heavier boxers have so much power as well. But this is how you harness it, right? So again, you have to keep your core as tight and compact as you can, but you can still breathe through it as well. So you can still, like later on in the second stage, you're moving around as well, but it's just basic mechanics to punch. So you're punching from your hips up. You're not punching from your feet, your hips up. Your feet will add onto it. It's like when you're doing a power clean, your feet will hike up the bar as soon as you do the initial deadlift to get the bar up into the air. So now we're at stage 2 of how to punch like Topuria. So first we had the mechanics where you're using your core to punch, where your head is stable, and that's the key to his combination punching, but also power punching as well. But now it's ability to move around nice and smoothly and have directional fluidity. So what that means is you can move forwards, back, left, right, you can sprawl, you can change your guards, you can keep it tight when you need to as well. And having all the directions and all the adjustments that you need to make at that split-second interval. Because say when you're fighting, you have to be ready for anything to happen at any moment. So what we see here is first we're just going to move around the bag, and when using this one, if you have a bag at home, but if not, then having a target to hit will make a big difference. You can see that my hands are nice and relaxed and my feet are relaxed as well, and I'm focusing on the core tension where I can still breathe through it as well, but I'm using it to move myself nice and smoothly and fluidly, like I'm gliding or floating across the ground. Then, as you see me set up, I'm set up, and then I can just move my limbs, my arms, even my legs and my hips around my head just to throw the punches, and I'm just getting different directions. So this takes a little bit of practice as well, but once you can do all the directions like what I can do whatever I feel like, whatever I can think of as well. So the important part about this one is you can see when you have a target to hit, you actually punch a lot quicker because you're not using excess force, you're using just enough precision, power and speed to hit the target. And then you see as I move back out, it helps me understand and calculate how much power, speed, and how I should really punch to get my power in. And we're only focusing on just precision punching right now, not as much power. You can see towards the end right now, I'm throwing really hard punches, and that's just the same principle. I'm keeping my head just locked in alignment as well. I'm just rotating it really hard around my body for harder punches. So this is good because you're not thinking about, say, like most people, they'll throw power punches, they're going like, ha, ha, ha. But you're limited by your breath. If you can just throw power by using those types of punches or breath work, you've only got like 3 or 4 in you. But if you're using a nice fluid type of breathing and using your entire body to move as one, it's a lot more easier to throw these punches consistently. It preserves your stamina as well. And again, you want to have the nice balanced movement where you can move in any directions. So I did bare knuckles first, which is, the only caveat is don't punch too hard. You can wear gardening gloves as well, or small gloves, but just for demonstration, gloves can cost as well. So if you're training at home, this is one of the best ways to do it. But you want to see, like, that's why having a bag to hit is very important. So boxing is only hard if you don't learn, and if you learn the reason why, it's going to save you a lot of time from doing the same thing over and over again without making any improvements. Because what happens is when you join a boxing gym, that's what a lot of coaches will expect. They expect you to figure out yourself. And it's true, you need to figure out yourself, but some things, you need the tools. How can you solve a math equation if you're given the wrong equation, or you're not given the equation at all, right? So you can join the school program that I have, an online community for more, and this will give you information and skills beyond the basics to help you become an independent athlete, fighter, as well as person. You'll learn a lot of life skills along the way. Entry requires commitment, and link is in the bio. Thanks.